International resolve to tackle piracy and armed robbery against ships has been strengthened following 3 separate but related events at the International Maritime Organization, a specialized agency of the United Nations. On May 14, 2012, a ministerial meeting held at IMO reviewed the Code of Conduct for the Repression of Piracy and Armed Robbery Against Ships in the Gulf of Aden and the Western Indian Ocean, known as the Djibouti Code of Conduct. In a busy agenda, the meeting discussed strategies for the implementation of the Djibouti Code of Conduct, the enhancement of maritime situational awareness and operational capability, and the Protection of the Southern Shipping Lanes initiative, with its focus on the implementation of the code in the southern part of the high-risk area, including the Mozambique Channel. IMO Secretary-General Koji Sekimitsu explained the purpose of this new initiative.
With an eye on the impact of piracy on the regional economy, I am launching additional project within the Djibouti Code of Conduct to establish a regional cooperative mechanism for the protection of southern shipping lanes through the Mozambique Channel. The protection of the southern shipping lanes initiative is to aim at combining counter-piracy and maritime capacity building projects within one single overarching apparatus to deliver a program for the development and protection of the maritime domain in the Southwest Indian Ocean, a region which holds over 60% of Africa's population and contributes over 50% of Africa's GDP. The signatory states to the Djibouti Code of Conduct will work together, supported by IMO and other development partners, to create a regional cooperative mechanism.
The Djibouti Code of Conduct has earned the enthusiastic backing of its member governments.
The Djibouti Code of Conduct and basically all the things that come with it mean a lot to us as Kenya, because Kenya, we are at the epicenter of piracy, being in the neighborhood where the pirates are operating from, and also being a major hub in terms of our port facilities for supplying the rest of the East Africa region. So for us, this initiative has helped us in terms of creating the information sharing center in Mombasa, and the wider support that comes with, belonging to the same network with all these other 21 countries sharing that information on piracy. And we would like to see it continue. We would like to see it stronger. We would like to see greater cooperation, and that's why we support this work.
If you have a problem in the Indian coast, then you are affecting Tanzania, and you are also affecting the landlocked countries. So in that case, therefore, this project, and in particular this meeting of today, is very important for Tanzania.
The following day, matters such as establishing maritime infrastructure and law enforcement capabilities, both in Somalia and throughout the region, were the focus of a conference on capacity building as a mechanism to tackle the piracy issue. It culminated in the signing of 5 strategic partnerships between IMO and other UN agencies, as well as the EU. In his address to the meeting, Mr. Sekimitsu emphasized the importance of capacity building if piracy is to be tackled effectively.
In the early stage of the Somali piracy crisis, the emphasis of the response was understandably on protecting merchant vessels from pirates' attacks, the mobilization and coordination of naval forces, the establishment of the internationally recommended transit corridor, and the development of the best management practices are all examples of this approach in action. While not diminishing in any way the importance of such immediate preventive measures and the need for their full implementation by all concerned, an ever greater emphasis will now have to be placed on capacity building within the region affected to tackle the problem. What we now see emerging is a wide program of activities aimed at finding new ways to equip the countries of the region with the tools and the expertise they need to do that.
IMO signed strategic partnerships with the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, the United Nations Political Office for Somalia, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, and the World Food Programme, as well as with the European Union. These organisations have pledged to work together to deliver effective assistance to Somalia and to states in the wider Western Indian Ocean and Gulf of Aden area. Then, on May 16, a special high-level segment of IMO's Maritime Safety Committee was convened by Mr. Sekimitsu to discuss policy matters related to arms on board ships in the piracy high-risk area. Following an intense debate, the high-level segment requested the Maritime Safety Committee's working group on piracy matters to develop interim guidance for private maritime security companies. It was agreed that the use of private armed security guards on board ships was an exceptional measure to be used only in exceptional circumstances in the high-risk area and should not become institutionalised. However, guidance was needed to assist policy development at the national level and facilitate greater harmonisation of policies in international shipping related to the issue of arms on board. The high-level segment endorsed the view that the carriage of armed personnel aboard ships for enhancing their protection in the high-risk area should be left to flag states to decide once a thorough risk assessment exercise had been carried out and following consultations with the ship owners concerned.